You know, the statesman on the $100 bill, right? The guy in the history books who helped draft the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah, the classic founding father image.
Exactly. Well, today we're going to look at him completely differently. Welcome to a deep dive into Benjamin Franklin, who was basically an 18th century life hacker.
He really was. And we've got a fascinating stack of primary sources for you today.
Right, his personal letters and his autobiography. Our mission is to uncover not just his greatest inventions, but the really surprising philosophy driving him. I mean, this is a guy who invented wooden swim fins when he was just 11 years old.
It's wild. And then later in life, he completely refused to patent his most lucrative ideas.
Which is so counterintuitive. We really get to see the innovator behind the statesman here.
Absolutely. When you read his letters, you realize he wasn't just sitting in a lab theorizing about abstract concepts.
Right, no heavy academic theory.
No, not at all. He was constantly looking at the daily friction in his life, just the immediate irritating problems, and instantly designing workarounds to fix them.
He's basically a modern-day DIY maker. Take his eyesight, for example.
Oh, the glasses.
Yeah. As he got older, he became both nearsighted and farsighted. And instead of complaining about switching between two pairs of glasses all day, he just sliced the lenses in half.
Just cut them right down the middle, put them together in one frame, and boom, he invented bifocals.
So simple, but so brilliant.
And he applied that same problem-solving mindset to everything. I mean, in Pennsylvania, winters are brutally cold, and traditional fireplaces were just terribly inefficient.
Right, so he designed the Franklin stove,
Exactly.
which if you've ever paid a massive winter heating bill, you know exactly the kind of annoyance he was trying to fix. But how did a metal box actually solve the problem?
Well, it changed the airflow and the location of the fire itself. A traditional fireplace is built right into the wall.
Right, which means about 80% of the heat escapes straight up the chimney.
Exactly. So Franklin designed a metal-lined fireplace that sits out, away from the wall. Because it's positioned further into the room, it radiates heat from all four sides simultaneously.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and while it's doing that, it draws in cold air, heats it, and circulates it back out.
It's like moving a space heater to the center of the room instead of pointing it out an open window.
That is the perfect analogy. You use way less wood and get a lot more heat.
And what's amazing is that he didn't just build these things for his own convenience. He actually invented a flexible urinary catheter because his brother was suffering terribly from kidney stones.
Yeah, that's a tough one. At the time, catheters were these incredibly painful, rigid metal tubes.
Just awful.
So Franklin designed a flexible version made of hinged silver segments and mailed it off to him.
That empathy is such a huge part of his story.
Yeah.
And that drive to solve everyday friction quickly escalated, didn't it?
It did. He went from personal comfort and brotherly affection to tackling the terrifying forces of nature itself, specifically electricity.
Which is a massive jump. I'm looking at his 1747 letter to his friend Peter Collinson right now, where Franklin writes about his electrical experiments.
Yo, yeah, that's a key source.
He notes that electrical fire isn't created by friction, but rather collected, and that it's diffused among other matter. That sounds like heavy jargon. What does that actually mean?
It was a massive breakthrough called the conservation of charge. Before Franklin, people thought electricity was something you magically generated by rubbing things together.
Like creating it out of thin air.
Right. But Franklin realized you don't create it at all.
Oh, so it's like a bank account where you can't print new money, you can only transfer it from one place to another.
Exactly. Or like water in a sponge, you're just squeezing it out of one object and soaking it into another.
That is the perfect way to visualize it.
And he proved it through incredibly meticulous observation and testing. He repeated his experiments with immense care before reaching any conclusions.
Hold on, though. If he's doing all these rigorous, meticulous experiments, how is he communicating this to the world? Is he just writing dense, elite academic papers that nobody can read?
You definitely think so.
Right, because when you look at an Enlightenment-era scientist, you picture this highly inaccessible academic.
Yeah, but his 1753 instructions for the lightning rod read like a totally practical, accessible DIY manual written for his everyday neighbors.
Wait, really?
Yeah. He outlines highly specific, easy-to-follow steps. He says to get a small iron rod, 8 to 10 feet long, drive it 3 or 4 feet into the ground, and make sure it's painted to prevent rusting.
But how does a simple metal stick actually protect a wooden house from a lightning strike?
By providing a path of least resistance. You see, wood catches fire because it resists the electrical current.
Ah, okay.
So the iron rod intercepts the lightning strike and safely guides that massive electrical charge down the side of the house.
And then just buries it into the earth.
Exactly, completely bypassing the flammable roof.
It's essentially an electrical rain gutter for lightning.
That's a great way to put it.
But wait, if he's giving away the blueprints to literal lifesavers just to be a good neighbor, that goes against everything we assume about 18th century capitalism.
It really does.
I mean, he was a famously successful printer and businessman. Why didn't he patent the lightning rod or the stove and just, cash in?
His autobiography actually answers that directly. He specifically explains his refusal to patent the Franklin stove in there.
What does he say?
He writes, "As we enjoy great advantages from the inventions of others, we should be glad of an opportunity to serve others by any invention of ours."
Oh, wow.
And he finishes that by saying, "And this we should do freely and generously."
It's the 1700s version of the open source software movement.
It basically is.
He essentially gave away his very best intellectual property because he viewed innovation as a civic duty, not a personal piggy bank.
Knowledge applied for the public good. To Franklin, that was the ultimate invention.
So we have this brilliant observer who paired relentless curiosity with radical generosity, leaving behind a legacy of practical magic.
Absolutely.
Which leaves you with a final thought to ponder today. If Benjamin Franklin were walking in your shoes right now, looking at the world through that same problem-solving lens, what modern, everyday annoyance would he try to invent a solution for?